Hey, I want to talk to you about something. Water. Now, if 60% of our body is water, and like 71% of the Earth's surface is water, how much of this are we supposed to put in our bodies to be healthy? Like, what's normal? Water is clearly important. It's clearly an element that keeps us alive and keeps the entire world alive. But how do we know how much to put in us? Is there any science? Is it all opinion? You notice that everyone will tell you a different number. If I ask someone, any adult, how much water should you drink every day? Everyone will tell you something different. But is there a science to it? Let's think about this for a moment. Now, have you ever heard someone tell you, drink 8 glasses of water per day, right? Many textbooks will tell you this. But where does this come from? The answer is, not really anywhere. You see, this is just a generalization. This is just a general term or a general spot that we can just say, hey, based on the average person's size, this is how much you should drink. The problem is that we are not all average. Some of us are smaller than others. Some of us are bigger than others. Therefore, the amount of water that you should consume that will maintain your body and adequate hydration will change based on your body composition and just your general size. So, let's look into a few examples, because even 2 to 3%, just 3% dehydration is enough to trigger your hypothalamus, the part of your brain that tells you about wanting water. It's enough to trigger it and to tell you, hey, you need to get something to drink. And if you're thirsty, you are already dehydrated. Just so we're clear. So the people that say, I only drink when I am thirsty, that is actually not the healthiest thing you can do. The healthiest thing you can do is drink before thirsty, because then you will not ever be dehydrated enough to be thirsty. Do you follow? Now, talking about water intake, let's look at a slide. I want to dive into kind of, again, an opinion matter, how much water to take in. But I want to dive in specifically to the words of Dr. Jeff Messer. This professor is at a local college, and one of the things that he suggests is that this variety of water that we should intake should vary based on our size. And what he says is we should consume 1 milliliter of water for every 1 kilocalorie of our basal metabolic rate. Now, this could be confusing, so stay with me. Every single one of us, based on our estimated height and based on our estimated weight, will have what's called a resting metabolic rate, or a basal metabolic rate. And this is the number of calories that doctors estimate we need to maintain our bodies in a completely non-moving state. So if you were lying in bed and you did not move, this is approximately how many calories you would need based on average weight, based on average height, to live your life and not have any weight loss or weight gain. Okay, so RMR, resting metabolic rate range, is the high and the low. So say for a 5'4" male, it would be somewhere between 1,200 and 1,600 calories, with the average being 1,400. And you can see that the larger men here, let's say 6'3", would be a mean or an average of 2,160. Now, based on these numbers, what we have to do is convert this to, again, kilocalories equaling milliliters. So for every kilocalorie, or every calorie that we see here, should be 1 milliliter of water. Let's convert this. 1,000 milliliters is equal to 1 liter. Therefore, using the example of a, 6'1" male, 2,020 milliliters, if 1,000 milliliters is equal to 1 liter, we would simply slide over the decimal 1, 2, 3 places, which would mean that this 6'1" male would require 2.0 liters of water per day to maintain adequate hydration. Now again, this is based on the opinion of Dr. Jeffrey Messer, who is a professional cross-country runner and professional cross-country coach. Now, what is 2 liters? Well, here's a physical example of what 2 liters is. Not Pepsi, I'm just using the bottle size, but 2 liters would be a full bottle of Pepsi. The ones at the grocery store for approximately $1 to $2. This would be 2 liters. So up to perhaps the logo here would be about 1.5, and about the halfway point or a little below would be the 1.0 liters. So 1 liter, 1.5 liters, 2 liters. Going back to this chart and keeping that large soda bottle in mind, but filling it with water, you can see, let's say if you were a 5'9" female, or a female that required approximately 1,500 calories for their resting metabolic rate, that would mean you would be at about 1.5 liters of water per day. So about up to here on a 2-liter bottle, but again, filled with water. So, look at this chart. How much water do you need? If 1 cup is approximately 8 ounces, what we need to do then is a little research. Again, Google is our friend. So let's look at this. How many liters is 1 cup of water? You can find it backwards. So look, it's about 0.23, or about a quarter. So that means, if we flip this backwards, that means approximately 4 cups is equal to 1 liter. So if you drank 4 glasses of water, that would get you to about right here. And if you need 1.5, that would be about 6 glasses. And then if you needed 2.0, that would be about 8 glasses of water. So now, I want you to think about this. Remember, they say drink 8 glasses of water per day? They are assuming you need a 2,000 calorie diet. So the average human being, not just resting, but also has daily physical activity. The activity that you would use to walk, climb stairs, do your homework, drive, whatever. They're assuming that the amount of basal metabolic rate energy plus the amount you spend doing things is approximately 2,000. And if you're at 2,000, then that would be about 8 cups. And this is why they say 8 cups per day. But again, everybody's different. Some of us are smaller. Some of us might be larger. So you might need more. And also, if you exercise, you breathe out water vapor through our lungs. You exhale it. So you lose water. So you need to drink water. This is why it's always important to stay hydrated. Look at this chart. Determine exactly how much you need to drink, and then modify it. Remember to drink before you're thirsty, and that will maintain adequate hydration. I hope this makes sense. Take care.